Okay, we are back for our Lenten reading and practical meditations for every day of the year, and we are doing this for Lent. Let's see where we're at. We're a little bit on a slant here. So we are on Saturday. Let me see, we're on a little slant here. Let me do. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so Pilate tries to save Jesus from the fury of the Jews. Imagine you are seeing Pilate pleading with the crowd on behalf of Jesus. Beg the grace to persevere to the end in our holy vocation. Point 1. Pilate saith to them, What shall I do then with Jesus that is called Christ? They say all, where we would say today, they all say, Let him be crucified. Consideration. The efforts that Pilate made to rescue Jesus from his enemies only incensed them the more against him, because they thought he would escape from them. Of the three classes who were concerned in bringing about his death, Pilate, the people, and the priests had the greater guilt. Yielding to a base jealousy, they invented and sustained the accusations. They excited and seduced the people. They overpowered the judge by cries of rage and fury, which they put into the mouths of the crowd. Their sin was very terrible, for the sanctity of their office and the greater light and the grace they had received ought to have made them models to their people instead of a scandal. Yes, they are held to a higher degree, and they should have been focused there. Application. Here is another melancholy proof of the truth of the old saying, Optimi pessima corruptia. The best, when corrupted, become the worst. So true. And this we unhappily see too often in our own days. And don't forget, this was written in the 1800s. Boy, is it much worse now. When priests or religious become infidels or apostates, they seem as if they wanted to deaden their own consciences or entirely to efface the seal of their sacerdotal consecration or religious profession. Affections and resolutions. Point 2. The governor said to them, Why, what evil hath he done? Consideration. This question ought to have opened the eyes of the Jewish people. It reminded them of the public life of Jesus, every step of which had brought down blessings on them. Even among this, the very multitude there might have been found many whom he had miraculously cured, to whom he had given sight, hearing, or the use of their limbs, and a still greater number whom he had delivered from the possession or temptations of the devil. Application. I cannot believe there is another ambulance. Wow. Application during the whole of our lives, and especially since we entered religion. We can remember nothing but wonderful graces and blessings. They constantly flash across our minds, and the memory of them ought to increase our love and devotion to Jesus, our divine Lord. How is it, then, that we correspond so little with these graces, that we are so lukewarm in his service. Let us each serve into the causes of this fight against it and overcome it if possible. Yes. Affections and resolutions. Yes, we should try to do that, but unfortunately, many of those in power don't. But whatever power we have, we absolutely should. Point 3. And he said to them the third time, and you know, let me just say this, we should also pray for our politicians to not be tempted by the lure of, corporations or whomever trying to give them money to vote a certain way instead of what's right for the people. Point 3, and he said to them the third time, I find no cause of death in him. I will chastise him, therefore, and let him go. Consideration. Pilate was guilty of the grossest injustice. 3 times he had declared that the prisoner brought before him was innocent, and yet he condemned him to a cruel and shameful punishment. His aim was to save him at least from death by exciting compassion for his sufferings under the punishment to which he was sentenced. He did not see that he was actually clearing the way for the death by crucifixion, which the Jews were aiming at, for it was often the custom to precede crucifixion by scourging. Application. How often have our passions made us act like fools? Have we not, from pride or sensuality, tried to escape the humiliations and mortifications which we sought to seek after, especially in religious life? Or have we not sought for pleasures and distinctions which we knew well would do us harm? Are we then on our guard, our passions, and do we fight manfully against them? Colloquy with our Divine Master. Yes, we have to fight the temptation to take the easy road, especially people that are in power that affect other people, innocent people. It just is mind-boggling that this one weakness in this one politician made such the difference. And it is an example to us, which it was all meant to be. And if you've had any power in the past and you abused it, it's really important to repent of that. And if you have any power now, to never abuse it. And we all have some power to some degree, whether it be in our families, in our businesses, our companies, or our jobs. It's very important to not allow people to tempt or mislead you. It's important to be conscious. What do they say? Wise as a serpent, but soft as the dove, So, anyway, okay. I'll see you tomorrow.